comes to tablets, you've probably heard this line multiple times. Just get an iPad. I think they're probably right, and for good reason. Hello from the other side, CJ here, and we just got our hands on the top of the line iPad Pro 13-inch M5 2TB model. I know it's a bit late to make a review, but it's better late than never. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Right off the bat, this iPad Pro comes in a massive unibody metal shell housing its 13-inch screen. And yet, it's insanely thin, measuring a mere 5.1 millimeters. There's a bit of heft to it though, weighing 579 grams for this Wi-Fi model that we have here. Our unit is in the space black colorway with a matte finish and does repel smudges nicely. As usual, there's the square camera island on the corner, housing a single camera sensor. Holding the tablet feels nice and premium, and the rounded corners make it a bit comfortable to hold. However, since our unit came in a magic keyboard, I mostly use it on the table, latched onto the keyboard. Here's the keyboard, right here. And here's the tablet. So you go like this. Flip it horizontally. Then connect. Ta-da! So we usually do it like this. See? Sadly, the tablet has no ingress protection of some sort, so you might need to be a bit more careful and not spill that coffee on this guy. For iOS, in portrait orientation, there's the power button at the top, the volume rocker on the right side along with a magnet strip where you dock the Apple Pencil, and the USB-C port at the bottom. Now, let's talk about the most exciting part of this tablet, the display. As the name suggests, this one boasts a 13-inch OLED display with adaptive 120Hz refresh rate. It goes up to 1600 nits of peak brightness, and best of all, this one has an anti-glare coating, which they aptly call nano-texture display glass. To be expected, you get more vivid colors and better contrast with an OLED panel, and that nano-texture display makes the viewing experience more satisfying, eliminating those pesky glares. That means taking this outside under harsh sunlight won't be much of a problem. Perhaps the best thing about this iPad Pro is how good its audio quality is. Listening to music and watching movies on this tablet is a top-tier experience. The audio can go significantly loud, sound clarity is on point, and you can really feel the bass resonating out of this tablet. I've watched a few episodes of a series I'm currently hooked on, also watched an old movie, and I must say, you'd get easily immersed with such a high-quality audio experience. Every sound effect and every music built up felt like you were watching it in a mini theater. But I digress. We're going to play some music so we can test the sound better. Not bad, right? For biometric security, the iPad Pro features Face ID. It's fast and it works even in areas with low lighting conditions, so that's neat. Moving over to camera performance, well, I still have the same sentiment. You don't want to do photography on a tablet. The iPad Pro features two 12-megapixel camera sensors, one on the back and another on the front. While it does a decent job with capturing images and videos, the quality isn't still up to par with flagship smartphones out there. Taking a look at our sample shots, they look decent at first glance, but once you start zooming in, you'll notice that the details are not that clear. And that lack of detail is even more obvious for a tablet of this size. Colors are accurate though, and it covers a decent amount of dynamic range. The front camera doesn't do any better either. The sharpness is evidently worse, but the quality should be good enough for casual snaps and online meetings. There's also the feature called Center Stage, which I think anyone would find useful for their online presentations. It's the same case for video, though you have the option to shoot up to 4K at 60 frames per second from the rear. It's capped to HD 60 FPS from the front. There's no OIS here either, but it does have EIS to help a bit in stabilizing your shots. But that's about it.
This is a sample video for the rear camera for the iPad Pro 13 M5, shooting at 4K at 30 frames per second. So, here are colors and details. And then, yeah, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comment section below.
Now, talking about performance, there's no doubt that the iPad Pro is one of the most powerful tablets in the market today. Under the hood, it's powered by the Apple M5 chip with 10-core CPU, 10-core GPU, and 16GB of memory. Our unit comes with 2TB of internal storage. Taking a look at our benchmark results, the iPad Pro M5 easily hit the 3 million mark in Antutu version 10. And as you can see in 3D Mark, it's able to hit almost 8,000, averaging over 47 frames per second. The same case with Geekbench, getting numbers that are significantly higher than most tablets out we reviewed before. Those numbers translate quite well in real-world use, as it should. App loading times are fast, switching apps is a breeze, and any game you throw at it definitely feels smooth to play. For graphic-intensive games like Wuthering Waves and the newly released Where Winds Meet, that have that are not stable 60 FPS maxed-out graphics with no noticeable stutters. It's even smoother for lighter games like Mobile Legends, where it can hit up to 120 FPS of gameplay. The same goes for Call of Duty Mobile, being able to play all game modes from multiplayer to Battle Royale at 120 FPS consistently. It does get substantially hot during prolonged game sessions, even when used in an air-conditioned room. So I'd recommend toning down the graphic settings if you want to play for long periods of time using this iPad Pro. Aside from the solid hardware, I think software is the iPad's biggest advantage over any Android tablets today. The iPad Pro M5 ships with iPadOS 26, and that's where Apple finally made much-needed improvements as how users would use an iPad. Perhaps the biggest feature of this update is app windowing, which wasn't a thing before. With that, you could think of it as if you're using a toned-down version of a MacBook, but with a touchscreen, so you get the idea. While app windowing itself is also possible with Android tablets, iPad does it way better by allowing multiple windows to be open at once. And it's all a little more intuitive to navigate thanks to gesture controls, especially with a trackpad keyboard. I also like the fact that when you close a windowed app, the next time you'd open it, the app will retain its last position and sizing. Now, in terms of UI design, I personally like the liquid glass in essence, but sometimes it could get distracting in some places. It feels so alienating seeing those fancy edge lighting effects everywhere or the more bouncy liquid-like animations, but hey, we still like it nonetheless. Talking about apps, there's your usual first-party Apple apps pre-installed and no other bloatware to be found here, so that's a plus. What's more interesting here is that the amount of apps available on the iPad is on another level. Case in point, video editing apps like DaVinci Resolve and Adobe Premiere are available for the iPad. The apps I mentioned are not available for Android for some reason, and the fact that these are free apps to begin with, trying out these apps on an iPad felt amazing. There wasn't a single issue when we tried editing a program in 4K on DaVinci Resolve with little to no delays on preview playback. Export times are also fast, at least for a video project with simple editing. It ain't all perfect though. We did have a fair share of complaints we had when testing it, including not being able to download any torrent apps, the video playback not going totally full screen when the app is windowed, not being able to sideload apps outside the App Store, etc. I could go on for more, but the point still stands. iPadOS is more consistent in our opinion, especially with the amount of app selection you'd get. Now, let's move on to battery life. The iPad packs a 38 watt-hour capacity, or about more than 10,000 in milliamp-hour units. In our experience, its battery life is decent. It didn't last us the entire day, and especially with heavy gaming, the tablet would drain the battery rather fast. However, if you're only using the tablet for watching content or productivity apps, then the tablet would last longer. In fact, based on a proprietary video loop test, the iPad Pro managed to get 19 hours and 10 minutes of runtime. Weirdly enough, charging it back to full is quite fast. It gets to 50% in just 30 minutes and gets to 100% in just a little over an hour. Interestingly, Apple throws a charging brick in the box, so thumbs up for that. Connectivity-wise, this tablet is the Wi-Fi version only, supporting specs like Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6, and USB 4. It also has support for Apple Pencil and Magic Keyboard, and both of these were satisfying to use. While we haven't used the Apple Pencil Pro that much, it was precise and virtually no latency. Plus, the palm rejection here is great, and it charges up magnetically when docked onto the tablet. The Magic Keyboard, on the other hand, is the one that we use the most. We used it to navigate around the tablet and also for writing the script for this video. It has fast key travel, and it was really comfortable to type on. Before we head over to our verdict, let's talk about the price first. The iPad Pro 13M5 Wi-Fi version only starts at 94,990 pesos for the 256GB model, and the price goes even higher at 164,990 SRP for the exact model that we have here, which is the 2TB model. Wrapping things up, the iPad Pro 13-inch powered by the new Apple M5 is straight up the ideal tablet for anyone wanting a device that can handle video editing, gaming, and a whole lot of entertainment. It's not without its flaws like the cameras or the occasional complaints from an Android user standpoint, where some things wouldn't just be possible to do on an iPad. In this case, however, the pros absolutely outweigh the cons. You get a stunning display and audio quality, top-tier performance, objectively good software, and rich app availability. Surely there are more good things we can say than complain about with this tablet. The expensive price may be the only thing that's holding this thing back from being a go-to tablet for most of you. But setting the price aside, this tablet is surely looking to be a great alternative to laptops or even desktop PCs. But what about you? What do you think of the iPad Pro? Let us know in the comment section below. If you find this video helpful or informative, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon so you won't miss out on any of our future uploads. See us on the socials, that's Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok, and see yougotech.com for latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this has been CJ, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! See you later!